Okay, phone cut out there. Back to it. Yeah, as I was saying, Robert Kiyosaki refers to it as the cash flow quadrant. And you can sort of, when I just flick back to where it was, that's it there. The long and short of it is, employee, small business owner, big business owner, investor. Now, the ones on the left really don't have the chance to expand or become anyone big, because this person works for their labour. This person says, if you do a job right, do it yourself. They are so busy trying to do everything themselves to make sure that they do it right, that they don't delegate anything. This person is the one who makes systems and writes huge manuals on the systems and the procedures and the what do they call it? You know, where you draw the line for if something's good or it's bad, and how you grade stuff into certain categories, and what we throw out and what we keep based on the condition it's in. Big stuff, you know. I've seen stuff 35 pages long on one of the things at work on how to tell if it's usable or throw out. And this is your investor, who usually pours money into startups and, you know, things like that. And, well, there's your tax rates for each quadrant there under US taxes under their system. He had one here that showed, yeah, Barack Obama, employee; Hillary Clinton, small business; Donald Trump and Mitt Romney, the big business. And yeah, but employees and small business owners are never really, you know, got a chance to sort of get ahead, because they just do not have that expansion. You know, you've got nothing as an employee. As a small business owner, you're so determined to do everything yourself, you ain't going to get anywhere. All you'll do is try to get somewhere by overloading the shit out of yourself, you know. And the fact of the matter is that until you learn to have business systems and to delegate, you have no fucking hope. So anyway, on top of that, he's worked out a lot of other fandangles and ways to make things fly. And yeah, it's quite interesting that you've got to have systems that are easy to follow in a business if you want to get ahead in business. With investing, you've got to, you know, according to him anyway, you've got to look for things that have got a positive cash flow. And, you know, there's intriguing things that he does that, you know, finds houses that, you know, one house he come across there, you know, it's, they couldn't sell it because you couldn't get water from the well all year round. You get plenty of water part of the year and bugger all the other time of the year. So they bought the place for about bloody half what it was worth, because it had been on the market for bloody 4 or 5 years. And the long and short of it was, all he done was install a couple of big water tanks for a lousy few $1,000s. And you know, got to leave them with instructions. During this time of the year, you got to fill your water tanks, and during the dry time of the year, when the well runs dry, I mean, it doesn't run completely dry, but it produces fuck all. Really, really fuck all. During part of the year, it's not enough for yourself, so then you just run off your water tanks. So we put in a pressure pump and 2 water tanks. So I suggested one. He said, "Oh, stuff it, I'll put 2 in." He resold the place for shit. It was like 3 times what he bought it for, with about $5 grand investment in it on top of. But it was so fancy the way he set up the deal was that, in fact, aside from a piss-weak deposit, he had a couple of years up his sleeve to pay the rest of it. Well, it was sold in friggin' 4 months. So, you know, he paid everyone out and walked away with a big heap of cash. But, you know, smart enough, he re-sunk that money into the next one. So he didn't pay income tax on it, so on and so forth. But anyway, that's what's behind it all. I may have a little announcement in the future, but I'll be getting back into business sometime this year. It's a good business. Fucking good business. Better than any I've previously been mentioning, Airbnb and things out. You know, I have a determination to do something good. Do I have a passion in it? Well, I'll put it like this. You could create a passion in it, and some women have already, and there may be a bit of passion involved in it as a accidental side shoot of the business, but I do have a determination to make a product far better than it is, and I can see obvious things with it, obviously fucked up, that you could easily fix and make a lot better, you know, and there might be some minor compromises, but if you want to do something properly, sometimes you just got to do it properly, other than, you know, frolicking around the edges. And one of the things that Michael Gerber says in that book there is that all businesses have common stupid-ass problems that are industry-wide for that business. You know, there's certain common problems that keep happening over and over in the building industry, you know, that a lot of places suffer from the same problems. And he said where you end up winning is when you solve those problems that consistently keep popping up over and over and over again for that business, that everybody expects, you know, that business has all these certain issues that happen all the time, and very few people ever really fix these same problems, you know. And I can see that to a huge degree in parts of this business, you know, and a lot of there is price gouging in the business because it's a business where you can charge an arm and a leg because there's a lack of supply. And the reason there's a lack of supply is because the demand is fairly low. So mainstream manufacturers, you know, not all of them, but particularly the retailers for these things, they don't even bother stocking them. I mean, really speaking, your average retailer doesn't stock them. I've been in a warehouse dealing with these things once before, a number of years ago, shortly before I was at the radiator manufacturing joint, and an alternate warehouse, and they had like fucking 4 options, and that was fucking it, you know. And there's a small market in the other options because there's not a large demand for them. Well, I wouldn't say there's not a large demand for them. I'd just say there's a very small amount of customers for them. And as a result, the mainstream manufacturers, many of them just don't have it. And the handful of higher-end manufacturers who do have it, you're buggered to find a retail store that you can get it from that do stock these ones. Yeah, you can find them on the internet, yeah. But they're not the sort of thing you just want to buy randomly off the internet because it mightn't suit you when you get it. And there's also a chronic industry problem of this industry being flooded with Chinese shit. And in case that isn't enough of a problem, you know, the sheer lack of customers but high demand from those customers for this product has sort of rendered it just hard to even come by. And retailers won't stock it because they're not likely to sell it. That's your real kicker in the situation here, which may be a little bit of a situation I'll have to overcome, but might not be if I sell on consignment or some other sort of arrangement like that. Anyway, it's something that I, with my cardboard house bloomin' inventor mentality, can see straight up there's a stack of different things that could be done better and whatnot, and you know, I am enthused to go ahead and do them, and I might get, I don't know if I've got a passion, but I might be getting some passion from it as a bit of a, you know, one of these fringe benefits of the business. Because you get a chance to work with some nice women. Anyways, you'll hear about that if you can't almost bloody second guess it. And yeah,